Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to the channel. So hey, we all spend money, right? Some on needs and some on wants. And that's cool and all. Like, I think it's very important that we should be spending money on things that we need and things that we want in our life. Because, I mean, if we did not and all we did was work, make the money and then save it, or work and then just invest the money, I think it's fair to say that life would be pretty, boring and uninteresting. And it would be hard to stay motivated knowing that you never really buy anything that you want and you never could, basically enjoy the experiences that you could have otherwise done if you would have spent the money on it. So I just want to let you guys know that this video is not about just, basically telling you don't spend any of your money on anything that you want and to just invest all of your money, because that's not the context of this video. But what I am hoping to do, if I'm successful with this video, is to just get you guys to understand and see why you are spending so much more money than you realize. So let's go ahead and get right into the video. And before we do, if you guys could just do me a huge favor and just find that thumbs up button on this video, give that thumbs up button a tap for me. It really helps out my channel a lot. I really appreciate it. It's totally free and it takes just about a second to do. So go ahead, smash that thumbs up button for me. Like I said, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that. And now let's get right into the video. So now, why do I say that you are spending way more money than you think or way more money than you realize? Well, it all starts with this, because let's just say, for example, you're going to go out and, you're out and about, you're shopping, or maybe you're even at home and you're online and you see something that's, let's just say, and in this example, that it's $10. And you're like, hey, I see that item, I want it, it's $10. So your mindset and your approach is probably something like this. Like, it's not a really big deal. It's just $10. I want that thing. I like it. It's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. Well, let me go ahead and explain to you why, when you decide to go ahead and spend that $10 on that thing, that you're spending way more money than you realize or way more money than you think you are, because it goes way beyond just that $10. And like I said, I'm going to explain that to you in just a second. So let's go ahead and say, for this example, that you decide, okay, I'm not going to go ahead and spend that $10, buying that item. But instead, what I'm going to do with that $10 is I'm going to go ahead and take that $10 and invest that $10 into a S&P 500 index fund, or an index fund that tracks the S&P 500. And because you've done that, the S&P 500 has an average annual rate of return of about 10% per year. So let's say you go ahead, invest that $10 into an index fund that tracks the performance of the S&P 500, and now you're going to receive 10%, return on your investment year after year for 10 years without ever adding a dollar to it whatsoever. That $10 that you have invested is going to grow into $26. So as you can tell, that $10 after a 10-year period of being invested and getting a 10% return on investment after a 10-year period, that $10 has grown to $26 without contributing any more to your initial investment of $10. And you might be telling yourself, that's really cool, because you could tell that $10 has more than doubled and a half. So that's nice. You're starting to see compound interest start working in your favor. But it gets a little more interesting and the numbers start changing really, really significantly the further and further you continue to look further out, and the longer you leave that $10 invested over the long run. Because if you go ahead and leave that same $10 invested for an additional 5 years, so now you're going to go $10 invested, that same $10 invested for a 15-year time period, that $10 is going to become $42. Okay, so it's starting to get pretty interesting. You're starting to see the numbers grow. Well, let's take a look. If we go out another 5 years, let's see how that $10 investment with a 10% annual rate of return will start to look if we look at a 20-year period. So that $10 after a 20-year time period of returning 10% annually is going to be $67. Okay, now let's go ahead and take a look at that same investment again of the same original $10, but now invested over a 25-year time period, receiving that same 10% annual rate of return. So after 25 years of that $10 being invested, that $10 has now grown and become $108. I mean, that's a long way from, only being $10. So you're really, again, starting to see the effects of compound interest working in your favor. Okay, so now let's take a look at that same $10 invested over a 30-year time period. receiving the same 10% annual rate of return after a 30-year time period, still being invested in that same index fund, tracking the S&P 500 performance. After a 30-year time period, you're going to have turned that $10 into $174. I mean, that $10 has really been working over these past 30 years. At one point, it was just $10. Now you see it come and grow. You know, yes, there's going to be some ups and downs in between over that long 30-year time period, but at one point, it was just $10. Never have you ever added not even $1 to this $10. And yet, just by that $10 being invested over that long run, over that 30-year time period, it has come and grown all the way into $174. And this is why I'm saying that when you are spending your money on the things that you spend your money on, regardless whether it's like something small, like in this example of $10, or it's something significantly more, that you are actually spending way more money than you think, or way more money than you realize. So as you can see from the example in this video, that small amounts of money over a long period of time, they really can add up to a large lump sum of money, you know, if they're invested and with a very average rate of return. I mean, 10% is not out of the normal, you know, to get as a return on your investments in the stock market. I mean, there's many investments, you know, that are going to go well beyond 10%, but you know, this is just to show you that it is very, very easy and very, like, you know, an average situation. So that's what I wanted to do. And I mean, the dollar amounts that we're talking about is just $10. We're not talking about hundreds or thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're just talking about, you know, an everyday person spending $10 here, $10 there. But it's just kind of comes down to the decision making. And that's what I'm ultimately like trying to, you know, that's the message that I'm trying to convey to you guys in this video, is to try to get you to understand that, you know, it's not these really, really big things in your life. It's just the little decisions of like, oh, I don't really need this thing, but I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. I'm gonna spend the 10 bucks on it. Whatever, you know, some company, you know, tricked and marketed you into going ahead and making that purchase for 10 or 20 or 30 bucks or whatever. Or you know what, like, I'm just gonna waste this money on this thing. And what I'm trying to show you is like, if you could just become more conscious about the way that you're spending your money, be a more conscious consumer, spend your money, yes, but spend it in the areas that your money is going to provide you the most value and the most bang for your buck, basically, you know, when it comes to your life. Because I mean, you work hard and you sacrifice time of your life in exchange for the money that you get, because most people work in a way where they get paid for their time. They're either hourly or their salary. So at the end of the day, you're trading your time for money. So I'm hoping with this video to get you to understand, like, you want to go ahead and make the most out of that. So you don't want to waste your money buying things that you don't need, or, you know, things that are not necessarily going to improve the quality of your life. So what I'm hoping you could do after watching this video is that you would just, you know, have a more of like a greater appreciation for your money, and that you would then ask yourself before you go ahead and purchase something, would I be better investing this money, or would I be better off going ahead and buying this thing because, you know, it means that much to me, or it's going to improve my life that much, so I'm going to go ahead and buy it. And I'm hoping that you will start to look at not, you know, the current value of, you know, the thing, of the dollar amount of money that you're looking to spend, but if you invested that same money over a 30-year time period, how much would that money have made for you? And I think if you really start taking that approach and you start thinking about the future value of that money invested over time, especially over something like a 30-year time period, it would really change your outlook on whether or not that purchase that you're considering making is really worth your hard-earned money. So, like I said, that's my whole goal and my whole intention in this video. It's not to convince you guys to just, you know, work, save all your money, invest all your money, and never enjoy your life. Like, that is not what I'm like hoping that you get or take away from this video whatsoever. I want you to enjoy your life. I actually want you to, you know, spend your money, and spend it in the areas that it is going to improve the quality of your life. So that way you live your best life, and that way also you don't waste your money. And by not wasting it, it gives you more of your money to spend in the areas that are more important to you. So basically, it just kind of comes down to being efficient with the money and the resources that you have. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys found value in this video. And if you guys did, if you guys could do me a huge favor, just tap that like button on this video, hit that thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it. It helps out my channel a lot. And if you're not already subscribed to this channel, find that red subscribe button, tap that red subscribe button, turn on the notification bell as well, so that way YouTube will notify you each and every time I upload a video. I upload videos every Monday at 3 p.m. West Coast time. I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.